Okay. So what we were talking about a couple of moments ago is how do we message this the right way? I'm talking with loan officers that are working on this, trying to get realtors on board, and they say, well, the realtor is they're not interested, or they already have it, or they know what it's about. The fact is they don't know because there's nothing like Listing Booster. So what it really is, it's a breakdown in the messaging. Either I'm not, or the lender is not conveying it to the realtor properly, and they're not receiving it, or I don't understand what I'm talking about, or the loan officer doesn't understand what they're talking about when they're trying to convey this to the realtor. And that's kind of what we're talking about today with you guys. I know this will change everybody's business in the country if you jump on board with it. I had a conversation last night. It's called Merriment on Main Street in Vacaville, California, and I ran across a loan officer. And by the way, nobody's doing this in my own hometown of Vacaville, California. And I have a friend who I used to work around in the industry, and we had a chance conversation about Listing Booster, and I was breaking it down to her how she can actually go out there and just completely control the real estate industry in Vacaville, California, if she chose to jump on board with this. And she's going to be coming in later on today. And here's what's going to happen. She's going to sign up for Listing Booster. She's going to sign up 100 local agents, which is basically going to be the entire market. And then she's going to work the agents who are actually getting listings and working this. And she's going to only have the top 100 in there. And it's going to change what she's doing as a professional. Now, this is interesting because her name is Kashayla Link. She'll be in here later on today. But this is interesting because she's already one of the most successful loan officers in Solano County, and she's trying to figure out how she could become more successful. I had a conversation a couple of days ago with a guy down in Orlando, Florida. His name was Shane. So Kevin Bilberry right now, who's the architect behind Listing Booster, we were going through the analytics and finding out what loan officers who are currently working with Listing Booster, seeing how many agents they have in and how many listings they have in there and how many impressions they're getting and how many potential leads they're getting. And we see people who've got one agent with 3 listings, 2 agents with 1 listing. And then I see a guy who's got 47 agents with 117, and these are accurate numbers, 117 listings, which means he's got thousands of impressions courtesy of Listing Booster all across his region. So I called him up and I said, hey man, how's it going? I'm like, how's Listing Booster working out for you? Because I want to have conversations with people who are finding success with this. And his response was very interesting to me. And this goes to sales in general. He goes, hey man, I've been slacking on this thing really hardcore because I've got 10 closings this week and I've just had to focus on that. Okay. So he's got 47 agents, which is more than most people have in Listing Booster. And his response to me was, I'm slacking. And he's one of the most successful people. And it really comes down to, if you understand what I'm saying, it really comes down to the hard work that you have to put into this thing in order to find the success. But once you get that initial push, that hard work, Listing Booster, it's going to change your business. I promise you. So what we've always done with our Listing Booster presentations is we say, here's the work you have to do to get this result. Okay? But what I want to talk to you about right now is if you have this result, if this is what you're looking for in your profession going forward, and there's a lot of people on this call, and by the way, this is both realtors and lenders. There's a lot of people on this call right now who want to have the results, but they want the results without putting the work in. So let's talk about what Listing Booster can do for you as a realtor or a lender, okay? And then if you say, yeah, that's where I want to be with my profession going forward because you are a professional, right, in your industry, if this is where you want to be, how do we get there? So let me give you a couple of pictures here to show you what I'm talking about. So imagine if you're a loan officer or a realtor, and every day when you walked into work, you went to your Listing Booster panel, okay? And you went to your text message leads. And what if you had something that looked like this? Here's an account right now. And these are actual phone numbers, so please don't, copy this and start calling these people. But these are actual phone numbers from people that are leads, okay? I got 618-599-9035. And you'll notice here on this Listing Booster account, I've got 9, 10, 15, 20 pages of leads. I mean, how cool is that? These are only my text leads. Now, what if I go to my web leads? And here I have, and again, test account, but imagine if you were to go in every single day and you had your text message leads and you had your web leads, okay? And you'll notice here I've got a number of pages here on each one of these. So my point is this. If you're a loan officer or a realtor, your job is not closing your transactions. That's why you have processors and underwriters and doc drawers, and funders. I mean, you have other people and assistants who are helping you get to that point. Your job is not closing the deal. Your job is bringing the deal in, because if you don't bring the deal in, you have nothing to close. So I think this, and tell me if I'm wrong, and please give me a comment on this, but I think this. I think a lot of people out there in the industry right now, they go to work every day, and I think they stare at their phone. And I think they look at their phone and they're waiting for that phone to engage them, because we don't know exactly how to go out there and get sales on a regular basis. So we look at that phone. I used to do this myself. We look at that phone and we wait for it to engage us. But what if we had a built-in system on a daily basis to where we could engage that phone? So rather than being reactive, okay, we could be proactive with our business. If you are a dedicated professional, you need to be proactive with your phone. So imagine if you woke up every day and you went to work, and you're a loan officer or a realtor, and then you went out there and you went to your listing booster dashboard and you said, I'm going to go check my text leads. And then you see this and you say, oh, I've got 25 calls I got to make this morning. Now, why is this a great idea? Well, first of all, people who are going to be one of your leads in Listing Booster are going to be people who are interested in actually buying a house. Now, that might sound very simple, but I want you to think about this for a second. When you do any type of marketing, if you're blogging, video blogging like we do, if you're sending out mailers, if you're sending out postcards, if you're, you got some Homes and Lands, Homes and Loan magazine, if you're on billboards or, you're in your newspaper, whatever the case is, you are marketing to everybody. Not just people who want to buy houses. You're marketing to everybody in hopes that everybody includes people who want to buy houses, people who want to get financing. But when you're in Listing Booster, the only people that you're looking at, guys, are people that are actually thinking about buying a house. So what I'm telling you is Listing Booster is going to take your marketing efforts that you're currently doing and focus it only on the people that you want to be talking to, the people who are considering listing their house, buying a house, getting financing, and dealing with refinancing. It's taking the pencil of your marketing and it's sharpening it to a point to where you can actually go out there and make calls and have a amount of certainty that you're going to get a result. Now, are some of the people not going to want to talk to you? Of course, but that's what we do. It's the whole, baseball adage. If you lose 7 out of 10 times, if you're a professional baseball player, you're hitting 300 and you're going to the Hall of Fame. So certainly that's going to be the case. But with Listing Booster, it's going to give you the opportunity to go out there and become a much more effective marketer. So imagine every day if you woke up and you went into work and you pulled up your Listing Booster dashboard that we have right over here, and you go to your text leads, and you've got 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 leads to call each and every day. Would that be a place where you want to be with your business? I'm dead serious about this. Would you like to have a system in place to where when you went to the office every day, you had your leads and you were going to call those leads? Now imagine if you're a loan officer out there and you say, okay, I've got 70 or 80 agents, in my Listing Booster account, and I've got 250 listings that are aggregating out to, 900 other sites. And I've got, and we're going to talk about this in a moment, and I've got sign writers on 100 listings out there, and I am generating, I'm not kidding you, 50, 60, 70 leads per day. And my job is to call these people every single day. And if you're calling 50, 60, 70 people every single day, okay, who we know because we're focused, because we know that the people who are looking at buying are focused, okay, that we're going to get a couple of leads out of this, that you could go walk into a real estate agent's office and say, I have got a lead for you right now, somebody who wants to list a house, somebody who wants to buy a house, and I've already got their financing in order. Would you like to talk to this person? What's a realtor going to say? What are they going to say? They're going to say yes. Your average agent, your average real estate agent, and I know I got a lot of you right now on the phone, your average agent does 8 sides of a transaction per year. That means your average real estate agent out there is doing less than 1 side of one transaction per month. Okay? So if you're walking in and talking to an agent and you're offering them a listing or a buyer, you are potentially talking about over doubling their income on a monthly basis. And that's what this can do for you. And what that's going to put a loan officer, it's going to put you in a position to go ahead and get that agent's business outside of what you're doing with them for Listing Booster. It is an absolute game changer, guys. I've already got people out there that I'm talking to who are working with Booster right now, and they're using the system where they're calling their leads on a daily basis. But you got to put the work in to start this whole thing. So that's what I want to talk about today. So if you don't know anything about Listing Booster, we're going to kind of run through this. And then I'm going to bring Kevin in. We're going to answer your questions, and we're going to get going. But guys, I'm telling you right now, 2014 is upon us. I mean, what you need to be doing right now is changing your business plan today, not on January 1st. So you jump into Listing Booster. You're a loan officer. And by the way, you have to be a loan officer to buy this. If you're a realtor online right now, send us a message and we will call your loan officer and we're going to get him signed up for it. The great news is it's not going to cost you anything but $12 a year. You're a loan officer, you sign up for Listing Booster. Here's how the whole thing is going to go. First of all, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to walk in here and you're going to look at the videos. The videos are going to tell you everything that you need to know about Listing Booster. So if you're not getting everything out of the conversation we're going to be having over the next 30 minutes, rest assured you can go in here because there are 16 videos that are going to take all of an hour of your time, okay, and you don't need to watch them all at once, which will tell you everything you need to know about the product so you can have the confidence to go in there and speak with real estate agents and show them how it's going to change their business. And here are the list of videos that you have right here, okay? Real easy stuff. Now, it goes from how to set up your account, okay, how to set up your Facebook fan page, which is a big one. We're not going to talk about it today, but yeah, Facebook fan pages are great for the agents and the loan officers. We're going to talk about sign writers, but it's going to tell you everything you need to know about that. I mean, everything you want to find out on Listing Booster is going to be here. That's your first step. So your second step is once you have the confidence and understanding about Listing Booster and how it's going to help your business out, if you're a loan officer, you're going to go out there and you're going to talk to real estate agents. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go into a real estate office. You're going to ask that realtor, hey, would you like to have every single one of your listings, okay, put up on YouTube on a high definition virtual tour that is going to be branded to you for sites that allow that and not branded for your IDX feeds and things like that? Would you like to have that? Okay, good. Then let's have a conversation. There's no agent in the country who's going to say no to this if they truly understand what you're talking about. You could say, do you want to have a dedicated web page for each and every one of your listings, which is going to have a user interface. It's going to embrace the person looking at your listing, so it's going to generate more leads for you. Would you like to have that? The answer is yes. They're going to jump into it. If they say no, the only reason is because they don't understand what the message is. So once we get an agent, we're talking with them. What do we do? Well, we're going to take that agent. We're going to put their email address in here. Okay, we're going to search agent, and I'm going to let Kevin talk about this in a couple of moments. But if their MLS is with a company called List Hub, okay, then it's going to automatically find them most of the time. If not, there's another way that we could put them in. But all we have to do at this point as a loan officer is we just have to go ahead and find our new agents. Now, once we have an agent in there, what it's going to do is it's going to send an email out to that agent saying, hey, by the way, Brian Stevens just Brian Stevens just sent you an email to participate with him in marketing with Listing Booster. Would you like to participate with him? They hit yes, they fill out their profile, and you're off and running. So what does Listing Booster do for the realtor, and what does it do for the lender, and how does it generate the leads? So here's a sample account that I have right now, and I've got a couple of agents in here. I got Aaron Taylor. So let's look at Aaron Taylor. This is an actual Listing Booster account. It's a demo, okay? But we're going to look at we've got our dashboard here. We're going to look at our agents. So if you're a loan officer, you can log in basically as a super admin for the realtors that you're signing up underneath you. So I'm going to go into Aaron Taylor's account right here. I'm going to log in as Aaron Taylor. Okay, this is one of the agents that I have in this account. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I got Joe Linder over here. I'm going to go look at Aaron Taylor's listings. So Aaron Taylor has these listings right here. Okay, so I've got 8888 Tallwood Drive, 2312 Austin, Texas. Now, if you have a smartphone, you're kind of bored right now on this call, do me a favor. I want you to text, and then the text number that you're going to send is 878787. In case you missed that, that's 878787. Okay? Now, in the body of the text, I want you to type in LBR 3082. Okay, so the number you're sending it to is 878787. And if you're looking at your screen right now, I'm circling this. You want to type in the text code LBR 3082 and hit send. Okay, and we're going to get back to that in a moment. But let's look at what's going on with this agent right now. So I've got this agent, if I'm a loan officer, I've got this agent, and they've got 3 listings here. So what does Listing Booster do for them? Well, first of all, it's going to create a dedicated website. Now, if you're a real estate agent, you're going to say, well, I already got that. And if you're a loan officer and you're talking to realtors and they're going to say, I already got that, and that's going to be very common. And my answer would be, of course, we're not reinventing the wheel here. But what we're doing is we're actually making the wheel round. We're putting radials in the tire to make the tire actually work better. So what does that mean? Well, let's look at this. Well, we have a dedicated web page here. And if you look at other people who are doing dedicated web pages, one of the things that they do is they just try to sell the damn property. And that's a stupid idea. It really is. Because you're going to sell the property, but anybody who knows anything about sales understands that that property is a springboard to get more deals out of it, okay? And it's good for that property, it's good for your industry, it's good for the market. And what do I mean by that? Well, we are trying to sell the property. We've got this address, 8888 Tallwood Drive, 2312 in Austin, Texas. And we've got all the great analytics and information that you're going to want to have about the property. But what are we doing? Let's say somebody doesn't want to buy this property, but they're still interested in buying a house. After all, if they're looking at the site, they're probably in the market to buy a house or even list a property. So what do? Well, we engage the person who has found this site, and we try to find a way to generate leads out of it. So if they're not going to buy this house, they might buy a different one. And how do we do that? Well, if they don't want to buy this house, maybe they're selling a house. So, well, what's their house worth? We can click on this, and it's going to take you over to a squeeze page. And that squeeze page is going to get information from that client, okay? And it's going to take that information and it's going to send it to the realtor and to the lender. If we want to find our ideal home, well, it's going to take us to another squeeze page where they can fill out that information, and that information is going to be sent to the lender and the realtor so they can go ahead and once again engage that potential client who's actively looking to buy a house. We got free foreclosure lists. We can inquire on this home. We have our virtual we got our virtual tours here. We have on each one of our properties, we have maps. It's going to give you the Google map of actually where the property is. And this looks like a wonderful area of probably Cleveland, Cincinnati, or Detroit. Okay. We got payment information over here. We got schools. And by the way, if you're a realtor and you want to have actual print flyers that you could put into a box in front of the property, Listing Booster is going to accommodate that with print flyers that you can get over here. So each one of the dedicated web pages that Listing Booster is putting together is not only going to try to sell that property, but it's going to try to engage that person who has found it. So we're understanding what the experience is going to be from the potential buyer's side. And that is something that very much distinguishes Listing Booster outside of its competition. On top of that, what we have is we have our I'm going to go over here to our virtual tours. Now, this is really interesting. So when an agent puts a property into Listing Booster, it's going to create the dedicated web page, but it's also going to create a dedicated web page, high definition virtual tour, which is going to both be branded and unbranded. And this is a very important point to talk about here. So what does branded, what does unbranded mean? Well, right now you can see how there's 2 virtual tours that you can use right now, but I kind of like this one. It's got the theater seating down here. It's got great pictures. It's animated. It's got different musical themes that you can set to it. Okay, but what do I mean by branded? Well, when you're a real estate agent and you have your MLS is working with an IDX feed. Okay, so that means other agents can go ahead and take your properties and they can market your properties on their sites. Well, what happens is these IDX feeds, they don't allow you to have a branded tour. Meaning, if I'm going to use my IDX feed, okay, on my site to market everybody in my MLS's listings, I don't want people to click on that listing and necessarily see you because I'm marketing your property for free. That's how IDX works in all areas of the country. But let's say you have a site like Zillow or Trulia, and you're aggregating out, you're sending out to these sites as well if you're a real estate agent. Well, they do allow for a branded virtual tour to where you can actually, as you're looking at right now, you can actually market yourself on that virtual tour. And you can see here that we have Sunshine Real Estate or Realty. We got Aaron Taylor over here. And this is a whopper, guys. This is a big one for realtors. I want you to understand this. If you're a realtor, you're probably shaking your head saying, yeah, I totally get this. But if you're going to go to a site like Trulia and you're going to market a property, let's see if we can kind of get one. Oh, I can't take that one down. We can take this one down. Okay. So let's say we go to Trulia. I'm going to take my own local market here. I'm going to go Vacaville, California. I'm going to go minimum, I don't know, 200,000. Say maximum 400,000. If you're living in Cleveland right now, yeah, that's about what prices are going for out here. We're going to go, let's go 1,500 square feet, single family residence. Bedrooms, 3, but that's not going to work for me. But you get the idea. So we're going to go search something here. Alrighty. Ralph Avenue. Who the hell wants to live on Ralph Avenue? But let's check it out. I don't even know where that's at. It's not that big of a city. Okay, so let's look at this here. So if we're going to be looking at any one of these sites like Trulia, what's going to happen here? All right, I'm interested in buying a house because I'm on Trulia. That's what you do. You go to Zillow, you go to Trulia. And I look up and I put my parameters in, and I've got this nice, probably 1982, house in Vacaville, California, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, I kind of like it, like the tree in the front, like everything. I got all these pictures, I can see everything, which is really cool. All right. Boy, that kitchen looks like it should be a meth lab, doesn't it? Okay. Anyways, I kind of like the house. Looking at the property, the amenities, everything over here. Okay, I kind of like this whole thing, and maybe I want to engage. I want to engage, meaning I want to learn more about this property other than what I'm getting from Trulia. Now, what I could do is I could hit contact an agent. So when I contact an agent and I'm on Trulia, what's going to happen? Well, Trulia, and this is their business marketing plan, is going to take this lead and they're going to send it to 10, 15 different agents who are going to call me and they're going to hit my ass up. I want to show you something really interesting right here, and I don't know if this is going to work, but I just kind of want to see if I could show it to you. So yesterday I did one of these sites just for kind of shits and giggles, right? And here's what I got. I don't know if you noticed this here. Here's what I got. So I got engaged. You see Frank Ray over there. But I got engaged by looking for people from Missouri, from Michigan, from Kansas, from Illinois, and then you'll see whatever that one is down there. But I got engaged by 10 different lenders when I did this, which means if I'm going to buy or look at a house right now and I'm going to hit this contact an agent, what's going to happen is that my property is going to be sent to 10, 15 different agents who are going to try to sell me the house that I have the listing on. And if I have the listing on that house, quite frankly, I think that sucks. So one thing that Listing Booster does, which is really kind of cool, is right down here, and this is not a listing, I want to be clear, this is not a Listing Booster Trulia account, but Listing Booster, if you sign up with us and you're a realtor and you're aggregating out to sites like Trulia and Zillow, it's going to have a little thing down here that says, would you like to see the virtual tour? And once you click on that virtual tour, it's going to reroute you, excuse me, off of Trulia, okay? And it's going to reroute you over to the virtual tour. Now think about this. Your site is going to Trulia, where your listing is going to be a marketing tool for your competition. That's what they do. That's how they make their money. But if you use Listing Booster, anybody who clicks on that virtual tour, and let's be clear about this, people are going to look at everything about the property before they want to be contacted by anybody, and that includes clicking on the virtual tour. When you're using Listing Booster, it's going to take that virtual tour, that click from Trulia, from Zillow, and it's going to reroute you to a Listing Booster high definition dedicated page, okay, which is what you're looking at right now. Now, I want you to look at this. Once you've been rerouted off Trulia or Zillow, okay, without listing, what does it take you to? It takes you to one person that you can contact. It's the person who has the listing. In our case, it's Aaron Taylor, okay? Now, we're looking at the property. And if you're going to contact anybody, okay, the only person that you're going to be hearing from is going to be Aaron Taylor, the person who has the listing. This is a big one, guys, because 85% of people start their search online if they're looking for a house. Where are they starting their search online? I hate to say it, man, but they're starting on Trulia and Zillow oftentimes. What Listing Booster does for real estate agents out there is it allows them to keep more of their leads on their listings. And there's no other site out there that works like this. On top of it, what we can do here is we can also engage. We're not just trying to sell the property. Maybe they don't want to hear from Aaron Taylor necessarily right now, but we can also engage and get listings or get leads out of this by getting free foreclosure lists, but by finding our ideal home, what is our home worth. And what we have down here as we're working through this is we have other opportunities here. So the recipient of this virtual tour can engage the property, engage the site, and the realtor and the lender can go ahead and get that lead. And that lead is going to show up for the realtor and the lender in the form of, as you're looking right now, text message leads with the name, the property address, the phone number, and the date and time stamp in the form of text leads, as you're looking at right now. And it's also going to come in the form of web leads, okay, depending on how they find it. So what does Listing Booster do for us? Well, it's going to create an automatic, dedicated web page for each one of the properties. It's going to create a high-definition virtual tour. And I want to go into the third component that I find the most compelling here, and that's going to be the smartphone technology, the smartphone capability that Listing Booster has. Now, a few moments ago, I asked you guys to type in a property address, okay, excuse me, a phone number and a message. And if you did that right now, you're looking at a piece of information that Listing Booster sent over to you that's branded to both the realtor and the lender with a property address. Now, if you did that, okay, that's going to come back to me as a text lead. Okay, so now if you actually punch that in, that information came back to me. So now I can go ahead and call you and engage you. Okay, so that's incredibly important. So how does this whole thing happen? Well, let's look at this. Okay, it's going to come in through sign writers. Now, sign writers are an amazing piece. I'm going to have Kevin talk about this in a couple of moments here, but sign writers are an amazing tool that people simply don't use. Now, remember I started this whole conversation out about what if you could get to the point where you're simply calling on leads? What if you could be there? Would you put the work in to get to that point? Well, we talked about two things that Listing Booster could do for you right now with the dedicated web pages, with the virtual tours, with a workaround with our Trulia and Zillow sites. But maybe the most important thing here is the sign writers. Again, are we reinventing the wheel? We're absolutely not, but we're making the wheel more round. So each time that a realtor puts a listing into Listing Booster is going to set up a text number, okay, and a message that's going to identify that property. So when anybody punches that in on their smartphone, and let's face it, everybody in the country has a smartphone right now. I mean, everybody. Even my 9-year-old retarded kid has a smartphone right now. Everybody has a smartphone, okay? So, and everybody knows how to use text messaging. So when you text in that text message and you text that number, it's going to send back to you the co-branded with a realtor and the lender, virtual tour, and dedicated web page. So they're going to be able to get the information from that sign writer. So what is it going to look like? It's going to look like one of these three here. So tour this home first, text LBR and whatever the number is that's assigned to you that Listing Booster is going to create to the number 878787. Everybody can remember that. We've got multiple different sign writers that we could put up here. Now, what does this mean? This means if you put a sign writer up on each and every one of the properties that you have, okay, it's kind of like holding that house open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People, myself included very recently, we will drive through neighborhoods, we'll see a house that's for sale. We don't necessarily want to walk into that house. We don't necessarily want to engage somebody in that house, but I'm looking at buying a house. And if I see a sign writer where I can learn more information or see what the house looks like on inside by simply texting to LBR 541 to the number 878787, I could very quickly, easily, with a technology that everybody in the country knows how to use, find out more information on that property. Now, when I do that, it's going to send me, as a loan officer or realtor, it's going to send me your information, and it's going to tell me that you, who's looking at that sign writer on my property, are checking it out, so I can now engage you. That, my friends, is considered a hot lead. Somebody who's looking at a property. People who look at properties are people who are thinking about buying properties. So, again, I want you to imagine, if you're a loan officer, and I got my friend Shane, not going to use his last name right now, he's probably on the call, but Shane, who has 47 real estate agents in Listing Booster. He's got 117 listings, 117 dedicated web pages, 117 high-definition virtual tours that are on YouTube, which is the second most searchable site, or second most searchable browser, okay, that people use, which is going to be search engine optimized to death, which is creating dedicated web pages for those virtual tours, which is aggregating out to all the different sites out there in the country. So he's got thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of marketing material on his 117 listings he has right now, which, by the way, is all happening for him automatically. But on top of that, imagine if he had 100 sign writers out there on those 117 properties. And this is the hard work part of it. Imagine yourself right now. You've got 47 realtors, okay? You've got 100 properties. You have 100 sign writers out there. And when anybody uses their smartphone, okay, and they click that number in because they want to see that property, okay, it's going to send you the lead. You and the real estate agent assigned to it, it's going to send you the lead. If you had 100 out there that are working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, how many leads off that alone would you get each and every day? Well, Kevin's going to tell you in a couple of moments. He did this on his personal property, okay? He did this on his personal property that he sold in Austin, Texas before he moved down there to between Orlando and Tampa, where they've got big mosquitoes and alligators and weird thing. Anyways, when he put this on his house in Austin, Texas, and he had like Kevin, can you hear me? We'll get back to him. Yeah, he had like 67 leads. Kevin, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I had you on mute. Sorry.
Okay. So
I myself on mute.
Okay, just real quickly. When you put that sign writer up on your property, how many leads did you get off of that?
In 60 days, a little over 40.
Okay.
Now, granted, I'm on a good street, next to a school.
I want you to think about this. Vary. One property, one sign writer. Okay? 40 leads in 60 days. Imagine if you're Shane, who's got 117 listings. He's got 100 sign writers out there. Think of the leads. Think, my friends, of the leads that are going to be coming into you when you're looking at your dashboard on your Listing Booster account and you go to your text message leads each and every day. These are people who want to buy houses because they are inquiring on your sign writers. Imagine if you had a system in place to where you were simply starting your day with calling these leads, finding out who wants to buy, finding out who wants to list, and then taking those leads and bringing them over to the realtors, and they are golden tickets, and that's going to help every single thing that you're doing about marketing. You know, good compounds and begets more good. As you know, bad compounds and begets more bad. What if you had a system in place to where you had 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 leads each and every day, because you're going to put the system in place to make this happen? This is going to fundamentally change. I already know this because I see it happening right now. Frank and I, we talk to people all across the country all the time right now, and we are finding people who are signing up and finding incredible success, and some people who aren't getting the picture. But imagine if you could do this, it could change your business. If you're somebody who's a marginal loan officer, it could make you exceptional. If you're somebody who's exceptional, it can make you fantastic. If you're somebody who's fantastic, I said it before, time and time again, it's going to make you somebody who people will write songs about and sing around campfires. Now, think about your business right now. Okay, realtors and lenders, I want you to think about this. What is successful? I've asked this to people all across the country all the time. What is successful? Is it one deal a month? 2, 3, 4, 5? I think right now, if you're a loan officer and you're doing 6 to 7 deals a month, you got this thing figured out. You really do. If you're a realtor out there and you're doing 3 transactions per month, I mean, really think about where you're at. You got it figured out. I'm not talking about listings. I'm talking about closed transactions. I'm talking about actually getting checks. You got it figured out. Now, what does it mean to be marginal? Well, if you're doing 1 transaction a month, or you're doing, 1.5, somewhere around there, you're struggling. I mean, you're in the business, but you're not really succeeding at your profession. You're existing in it. So the difference between being marginal and being exceptional, okay, is 2, 3 transactions per month. It really is. I mean, you think about the numbers involved. If you live in an area and you're a realtor, if you're a realtor and I don't know, you're selling a $200,000 house, you're getting 3% on these things, so you're looking at $6,000. You get 3 more transactions, it's $18,000 a month. You've got a split that's 60-40, so you're making, I don't know, $9,000 after taxes. You're making $6,000, but $6,000 comes out to, $70,000, $72,000 a year. Okay, if you added $72,000 a year to your income right now, and if you're making $30,000 or $40,000, all of a sudden you're making $120,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year. It's a very small window. It's only a couple of transactions. The difference between marginal and successful is a wisp. It's a little hard work up front. Okay, if you're willing to put in the time and truly become a professional at what you do, but if you put that time in, okay, and you use Listing Booster, it will create a system for you to where you can wake up every day and you understand what you have to do. You call your leads, you call your realtors. Listing Booster is going to set this up for you. And once you do that, you will find the 2 or 3 transactions you need to get to go from being marginal to exceptional. It's really that simple. Now, where's the problem in this? I'll tell you, the devil's always in the details. The devil's in the details, and what I mean by that is a lot of things are easy to talk about, right? But they're difficult to execute. Frank and I, we say this all the time. What diet works? Every diet will work if you do the damn thing. If you call your clients, everything will work for you if you do the darn thing. And with Listing Booster, if you sign up for it, it will give you the results, the conclusion that we were talking about. It will get that for you if you are willing to put the work in up front. And what is the work up front? We talked about this. If you're a loan officer, you sign up for it. You go and you look at the videos that we just talked about. It's going to take an hour of your time. I mean, an hour. It's a full hour, which I know is kind of like running a marathon for a lot of salespeople out there right now. But it will give you the confidence to have every conversation you need to have with every single real estate agent that you know, who are all going to say yes, because the only thing this is going to do is it's going to get them more business. The next thing you're going to do as a loan officer is you're going to go out there And I'm going to log out here real quick. I'm going to go back into me. And what you're going to do as a loan officer at that point is you're going to walk into offices and you're going to talk to all these agents and you're going to tell them how we're going to create all this great marketing so they can sell houses at a higher price, how they can outmarket their competition, okay, and how they're going to be able to get more listings. And what's going to be required of you is you're going to need to go into here and hit add a new agent and put their email in. So my question to you is, do you have the professional intestinal fortitude to go out there and actually put somebody's email into a system? Can you do that? And if you can, and you could follow up on these calls, Listing Booster is going to take you from marginal to good, from good to great, from great to a superstar. It's that simple, guys. This one's a no-brainer. And I'm going to tell you this in conclusion before I start to answer some questions on this. But if you're talking with real estate agents and they say, I've already got something that does this, they don't. They don't know the product then. Because if they knew the product, they would say, wow, this is easier, cheaper, and more effective than anything I've ever seen, which encompasses more tools than any product out there. That's a fact, okay? So there's nothing out there that does this, okay? If somebody says, I don't want that, if a realtor says they don't want that, they are either not a full-time professional or they don't understand the product, which means we are not good with our messaging. So you need to go out there and become better at your messaging. Because if you have these two things in your back pocket and you are a professional, you will find success with this. Again, I think of Shane. Shane's got 47 agents out there in the course of a month, and he says he's slacking. I have people who've got this for 3 months. They got 2 agents, and they say it doesn't work. Well, where's the weak link in that change? The only common denominator in this is you as a bad salesperson. If you understand the product, okay, and you go out there and you can speak with it, in confidence because you're a professional, you'll find success with it. It's really, really that simple. So what I want to do at this point is I want to answer some questions here. And again, if you want to buy Listing Booster, all you have to do is go to listingbooster.com, sign up for it, watch the tutorials. And today is Wednesday. By Friday, you should have agents in here. If you're an agent, talk to your loan officers, have them sign up for this. It will change your business. It's really, really that simple. So what I want to do is I want to go in here and answer some questions real quickly and see what we got going on. And Kevin, I want you to feel free to jump in, but we got a lot of people on here right now, so we got to make these questions really, really quick. So I spoke with a realtor, and they use something called hub.com. Does that sound familiar, Kevin? Real quick, in a minute or less.
Hub.com?
Hub.
Hub. I have not heard of hub.com, no.
All right, sounds good. Let's see. Hold on here. Oh God, I love Hans Brunner. He's like one of my favorite people in the world. If you're a realtor or loan officer and you have not, go look up Hans Brunner on Facebook. I've known the guy for 20 years. He's one of these few people in the world that every time I look at him, I swear to God, I shit you not, he just makes me smile. I love you too, Hans. I'm a realtor and I would like to get one of my preferred lenders set up with Listing Booster. Okay, if you're a real estate agent and you want to have one of your loan officers set up with Listing Booster, do me a favor. Send me, and I'm going to kill myself for this, but I'm going to do it, and I swear to God, just like I did last time, I'm going to return each and every one of these calls. I'm going to use my Hotmail account that Kevin hates. Okay, so I'm sending it to everybody right now. If you're a real estate agent or a lender right now and you just need something outside of this call, send me an email with your phone number to realestatepostbrian@hotmail.com, and I will get back to you. If it's not today, I might have 100 or 200 of these to get back to you, but I promise I'll get back to you. It's realestatepostbrian@hotmail.com, and you can find that in the comments section. But thank you so much. What is Michigan's status with IDX? I have no idea. I think everybody's pretty much using IDX right now. Are they not? Kevin?
I think so, but IDX really has no role with Listing Booster. I'm not sure why. If they're thinking of List Hub's available all over Michigan.
Yeah, so everybody's pretty much got an IDX. The reason we brought IDX up is because, and it really goes back to the virtual tours very quickly here, is You can't have things that are branded to a specific agent when you're using IDX because it's going to market the agent who has a listing. The great thing about Listing Booster is that it will take the sites where you can actually have branded information, and Listing Booster identifies that, and it's going to help you out. Which is again, for realtors out there who understand what's going on with all the aggregators out there, it's a huge one. Okay, if we work with an agent who doesn't have too many listings, can they use someone else's listings in their office? We have this, Hans, we had this conversation before, and this is a big one here. You have to actually have a listing as a realtor in order to be found within Listing Booster. I guess you could technically do that, and I understand why you're saying this, Hans, because it's kind of like a realtor who's holding another realtor's house open or marketing their other houses or trying to drum up business. Um, I guess you could do that. The idea and the spirit behind what we are all about is trying to find success for specific agents. So if you're going to go down that road, you certainly need to make sure that you've got the blessings and the endorsement of the agent who has a listing. 878787 doesn't work. Gary, I tried this. All right. 878787 as a number, it should work, and I don't have any other people on there, so I think it does. Mark Richards says, what does it cost? Okay, Listing Booster is $197 per month. And one of the Mark, one of the questions we get is, do we offer discounts on that, bulk discounts? And the answer is absolutely not. If you look at anybody who's offering anything that marginally looks like Listing Booster, it's going to be more expensive than this, and it's not nearly as effective or all-encompassing. And so when Kevin and I sat down and we kind of figured out where the price point is on this thing and all the back work that goes into this, there's not a huge margin, on our end, to make a whole bunch of money. And the fact is that we've already priced in any type of discounts that you'd be looking at. So it's $197 a month, and I'll tell you guys, it's a game changer for you. Eamon said, I'd really love to chat with you if we could talk after this webinar. Eamon, you got my email, so you can certainly send me an email and I'll call you back. Truly, agents can have contact agents traffic directed towards themselves. You're absolutely right. They can, but you're going to pay money for it. That's what you're going to do, and that's what their business plan is. So if you're comfortable as a real estate agent paying to get your own clients back, then certainly go ahead and do it. But if you're an agent out there and again, watch the videos on this, but your cost per year annually is $12, which is really nothing. If you're comfortable paying to potentially get your clients back, then certainly go ahead and do that. But we kind of like the idea of you keeping the clients that you deserve in the first place, that you've already earned, rather than paying a third party for them. Gary Jones, how does it create a virtual tour? That's really cool. Gary, what it does is it's going to take the videos that you have that are uploaded to your MLS. Okay, so when a realtor uploads the pictures to the MLS, well, there's two ways. Excuse me. If you, and we will talk about this if you watch some of our other videos, if you have an MLS who's participating in List Hub, which is 70%, 65, 70% of the companies out, or the MLSs out there participate with, it'll take the pictures that they have that they've uploaded to their MLSs, and it will pull them down and use those pictures, and they'll animate them for the virtual tours. And what I mean by animating is it's called a Ken Burnsing effect. So if you remember seeing the Ken Burns Civil War series, well, they'll take a, hold on, I'll pull this up here, where they'll take a static picture. And yes, I keep Emerson on my desk on a daily basis. But what they do is they'll take the picture, and so rather than showing it static like this, it'll kind of move it in and move it out. So it'll animate the pictures. So it'll take the pictures from the MLS, and it will animate them, and it does a great job of them. On top of that, the agent can also go in there and add through their Listing Booster account, because each agent, even though they're not really paying for anything, they get their own account that they can log into. They can upload their own pictures to affect their virtual tours if they so chose to. Get service, access denied message. Not sure about that. How is this different from e-property sites? Well, it's different in a whole bunch of ways. I don't even know where to begin with this. Everything on e-property sites, first of all, is a manual upload, meaning that you have to actually go in there and not only manually upload each and every one of the properties, but then you have to manually upload it to each and every one of the other sites that it's going to be sending out to. On top of that, eProperty sites. Hold on, Kevin. Let me finish. On top of that, what eProperty sites is also going to do is it's trying to market the property rather than using that property as a springboard to get more leads. And this is also going to be co-branded, which is going to be sending leads to the realtor and the lenders. Now, Kevin, if you want to add to that real quickly, we can do it, but I got a million questions we got to get through in 10 minutes.
Yeah, just real quick, because we get this question all the time. Basically, the difference between eProperty sites and, eProperty sites is not a bad product. This thing is kind of more developed to be more automated. It's more for the loan officer agent relationship. I mean, it's with eProperty sites, some of the things you've heard is, it's very complicated. You got to get in there and go to all these different screens and all these things. We've made it very easy. Another thing, an agent can't buy this directly as they can with eProperty sites. They have to go through a loan officer. We're also a little more into lead capture and adding squeeze pages and things like that. And that's just not their business model. It's not to say they have a bad business model. That's just not what they do. That's the main difference.
Okay, so we also have here, Kurt says, does an agent or loan officer have to go into the back office to get the lead, or does it auto email text to the agent? Does it email it to you, Kevin?
Yes, any lead that comes in gets emailed to the loan officer and the agent, and that's true with everything. The text leads, actually, when those come in, Brian, you do want to call those immediately. As soon as you get one pop in, that's somebody in front of the house, you want to jump on that right away. So definitely, we do send those alerts out.
So if you have your email set up with your smartphone, which everybody has, then it certainly will do that for you. And here's a big point here, and I don't want to gloss over this. That's really important. So if somebody's driving by a property, you got these sign writers out there, and they want to see the high definition virtual tour, or they want to find more information out on that property. Think about the experience here. It's somebody who's looking at the property, considering the property, inquiring on the property, and you are live time getting that person when they're in front of the property. This is somebody who's considering buying a house, listing a house, getting financing. I work with a bunch of guys around the country right now who sell leads. If you want to get like a lifetime transfer lead, which you can get right now, any lifetime transfer lead that you're going to get is going to cost you about $25 to $45 a pop. So you actually have people calling and calling and calling and calling and calling on lists. And when they have somebody who says, yeah, I want to buy a house, I want to get a refinance, they say, could you please hold, I'll get a professional for you. They'll transfer that lifetime to your phone. Okay, that's $25 to $45 a pop. Now, if it converts, it makes sense. But here's the point with Listing Booster. It's like having that, nonstop, incessantly going for you. So when you get these text leads, it certainly is that somebody's right in front of the property. How much are the sign writers? Okay, good question over there. I appreciate that, Gary. The sign writers are going to be based on the volume that you're buying. So I'm going to pull this up real quick. So if we order sign writers over here. Oh, and by the way, just real quickly, Listing Booster is going to create the text number, and the message for you. You don't need to buy the sign writers through Listing Booster. We at Listing Booster are not making 1 penny, okay? We're not making 1 penny on signs. This is not part of the business model to make money. We want to make you guys more effective, but we need to offer it to you. If you find somebody else who has, sign writers, listen, if you find it cheaper than this, let us know what the price is, and we will make it cheaper for everybody out there. But the cheapest one we found right now, and they're very effective, it depends on the volume that you're buying. As you can see right here, if you buy one sign, it's $15 or $16 a pop. If you go as many as 1,000, it's $5.50 a piece. If you do 50 signs, it's going to be $7 a piece. If you do 25, it's going to be
actually, Brian.
Yeah.
The ones that we are typically selling is actually at 50 signs is I think it's $3.65 a piece. So you might be looking at something else on there, maybe the full collared ones. Most people don't go full color; they go with the one color. The off green is kind of the most effective from what we're hearing. It's not pretty, but it looks decent, but it just stands out on a sign. Most people go that route. The LOs buy them without, and then supply them. Again, they're roughly $3.65 if you buy 50.
Okay, so real quickly, guys, if you go on to Listing Booster, I don't know how I got this wrong up here, Kevin, but I apparently I do.
Yeah, they might be. You might be looking at their. Yeah, that's. I'll have to look at that. See, that's the
You have
18 by
yard sign. We have
24.
yard signs too.
Yeah, this is their standard sign. Actually, they changed their website. You don't really see the pricing till you check out, but he hasn't changed the pricing. I mean, I just know for a fact that 50 sign writers, the 18 by 24, or excuse me, the 6 by 24s are they're $3.65, I believe, for 50, and that's the most common people are ordering. If you order 100, they're a little cheaper than that. They might be like $3.25 or something.
Okay,
You know, you're looking at it, you know, a little less than a couple $100 for these signs.
Okay, so for less than $4, you get the sign writers out there. $4 a property, and again, you know, and here's my point on this, and I think Kevin would agree with it. But you know, if you're spending $4 to get 25, 30 leads, that would be about the best use of your money that you can get. So if you go on to Listing Booster, you can definitely go ahead and get those. And according to Kevin, and I trust him, it's going to be less than $4 a sign if you're buying 50. Okay.
And can I throw one quick thing in, Brian?
Yeah, real quick.
Just real quick, man. One strategy that a lot of our loan officers are using with these sign writers is they're actually taking the time to go out and bring it out to the seller and getting in front of that seller. Every seller, guys, that are in this system that are selling their house, about 80% of them are move-up buyers. And when you get in front of that seller, hey, I'm helping you market your home with your real estate agent. Oh, by the way, I'm the preferred lender of your realtor. Here's your sign writer. Let's demo this. Here's some print flyers. And oh, by the way, are you paying cash for your next home? Where are you moving? Now, all these things are potential business. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit.
That's a great point. Okay, so we'd like to reuse our sign writers, and that comes from Glenn. Glenn, right now we can't do that, but we're working on that. Again, at $4 a pop, it's a pretty good deal. Lori Hanson, if I don't have any listings right now, can I use this to get listings? Lori Hanson, appreciate the question. Here's what I want to say to you. If you are an agent who's participating with Listing Booster, this is kind of one of the cool things that you can do, is that if you're going on a listing presentation, what are you doing as a real estate agent? I'm going to sell your house. I'm going to hold an open house. I'm going to charge 6%. I'm going to put it in the newspaper. Seriously, I guess my point is, what distinguishes you from your competition? You know, maybe I'll have a dedicated webpage for you, whatever the case may be. But here's one of the cool things that we have over at Listing Booster is for every real estate agent out there who's participating with Listing Booster, this is really cool. We created a presentation that you can give when you're on a listing appointment. I appreciate you bringing this up, Lori. So when you're on a listing appointment and everybody's selling the same damn thing, you say, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do that my competition is not doing. And every real estate agent gets this. Right here, what you're looking at. Okay, I'm going to create a dedicated property website for you. We're going to have smartphone capability on your property. Okay, we're going to create stunning high-definition virtual tours for you. We are going to create a system where we're going to be able to take it and send it out to YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, AOL, Craigslist, Google, military.com, Twitter, Zillow.com, Truly. And yes, this is everything that Listing Booster does for you. We're going to take your information. We have Facebook apps. It's going to be on my fan page, which is going to be on my lender's fan page. We're going to put this whole thing on YouTube. We're going to put sign writers out there where people can engage this, to where I can send it or they can receive it. And we're going to get those leads, and we're going to follow up on every one of them so we can get top dollar for your property and sell it as quickly as humanly possible. So I guess to answer your question there, Lori, is yeah, this is really kind of a cool thing, because if you're participating in Listing Booster and you're going on a listing presentation, you're going to be equipped with a marketing tool that your competition as a realtor simply doesn't have. Everyone's going to list it for 6% or 5.5% or 5%. And everybody's going to hold an open house, and everyone's going to put it in your newspaper. But not everybody is going to take this thing and put it on the world wide web of steroids, which is what Listing Booster is going to do for you. That's a real cool thing. Okay, so let's say reason I asked is my agents, one of my created his own LBR number and was not assigned a random. Okay, so Glenn, yes, you can assign your own LBR number. I just don't know how that's going to benefit you, but you certainly can. Are the sign writers reusable, Kurt? Not right now, but we're working on that. Does it cost the agent anything? Okay, so Gary Jones, real quickly here. This is very important, guys. So everybody's concerned about being RESPA compliant. RESPA compliance is a big thing. So if you're a loan officer and you buy a listing booster, okay, you get, I want you to understand this. If you're a loan officer and you buy a listing booster, and you must be a loan officer to buy it, okay, you get 100 accounts, okay? That means you can sign up 100 real estate agents with one listing booster account. It's $197 a month, so let's say $200. That means for each one of those accounts, the cost per month is $2. You have 100 accounts. It costs you $200 a month. So each one of those accounts is $2 per month. So to be RESPA compliant, you need to split any type of marketing with that agent. So the cost to the agent that you need to charge them is $1 per month. Okay? You pay the other dollar. So the cost to a realtor that you're going to be working with to be RESPA compliant is $12 a year. $1, $2 a month, $1 they have to pay for 12 months. This is kind of a cool thing here. I'm going to show it to you real quickly before we move on because I think it's kind of important. We have agent invoicing over here. So you put in their $12 that they're paying, who they paid it to, who you're going to send this to, and they can, through Listing Booster, they can show that they're paying cash, check, or credit card, and you can invoice them, invoice your own company, and Listing Booster is going to hold a receipt of that, which means that you will be RESPA compliant. So now the naysayers out there are going to say, well, it's $200 a month. If I only have one agent signed up, that means they should pay for 100 of the 200. Okay, I want you to ask yourself this. If you're a loan officer out there and you go buy 100 sign writers on your own outside of us, 100 sign writers, and it costs you, $1,000, which means each one of those sign writers costs you $10 a piece. Okay, now I go to one of my agents and I say, okay, I got my sign writer. I got one sign writer I'm going to put on your property. And okay, but that's all I got with you. I still have, 99 sign writers at my house that I could use with other agents. Do I need to charge them $5 for that sign writer, or do I need to charge them, $500 for it? The fact is that they're only using the part of that marketing material just like the sign writers. If they're only using one of them, even if it costs you $1,000 or $100, they're only using the portion that they're using. So that's how you charge them, and it's within Listing Booster. Who buys the sign writers? Who puts them up? Anybody can buy them and put them up. But I think what Kevin was getting to a couple of moments ago, if you're a lender, I think one of the big keys that you want to have here is you want to be indispensable to these agents because they will give you more. The more you help your realtor partners out there, the more inclined they're going to be to give you their leads outside of what you're doing for them. So I would, if I personally, if I was a lender, I'd go ahead and buy these sign writers myself. And then I would be, one of the great things about Listing Booster is every time a new listing comes up, it's going to send you an email and says, hey, Sally down the road just has a new listing on 123 Any Damn Street. So if I'm a smart loan officer, and it's a system where I'm making my calls every day, I'm going to call Sally up and say, hey, congratulations for your new listing. I'm going to go put a sign writer up on here so we can generate leads and possibly sell your house faster. You cool with that, right? And Sally's going to say, oh, that's a great idea. Thank you, Brian. And then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to knock on the door and I'm going to say, hey, Bob, I see you're selling your house. I just talked with Sally, your real estate agent, and we're going to put a sign writer out here so we can sell your house quicker and get you top dollar for it. How's everything going? Oh, it's going good. That's awesome. So are you buying another house? Moving up, moving down? What are you doing? I mean, let's face it. When people sell houses, they're generally buying other houses. And if they're buying other houses and you're a loan officer, what do they need to buy that other house unless they're Warren Buffett? They need a loan. So what Listing Booster does is it creates an opportunity for a loan officer to be indispensable to that agent by putting these sign writers up for them, but it also puts you in front of a potential client who could use your financing. So this is just me. It's just me. But if I was a loan officer, I would get the sign writers and I would do this for my or for my realtors because it makes me more valuable to them so I can earn their business, okay? Because they see how hard I'm working for them. And it's also going to put me in front of somebody who's probably going to be buying another house. It's a very, and people say, I don't have time for that. That's bullshit. Half the people out there are only doing 2-3 deals per month. Don't tell me you don't have time to go out and drive out to some damn house and put a sign writer up. It's a great use of your time. That's kind of my thinking out there. That's what I would do. But some people won't. The realtors can certainly do it as well. I'm interested. Eamon, love you, bud. I'm telling you right now, it's Eamon. Listen, send me an email. I'm going to call you up today. I'm telling you, this is going to change your career if you just do this like we're talking about today. Is this the same as eProperty sites? The answer is no. It's better. Sorry. It's just simply better and cheaper. Does the system link up with a CRM so that we can use the leads from a CRM? Not right now. There's some work involved. We're working on some stuff right now with Real Estate Marbles down the road that we're probably just going to roll out to you, but maybe not necessarily. Thank you so much. Okay. I'm just trying to get through these guys. Does the sign writer have to start with an LBR? It does. The sign writers have to start with the LBR, but it's not going to be the case down the road. My questions are, okay, how much? $197. I can't bill my agents per company policies unless they pay $1 directly to a third party. I don't know what to tell you. Your company is, listen, it's all trackable, it's all traceable. It certainly is the case. Hey, listen, if you have any other questions, you can send them to me at realestatepostbrian at hotmail.com. If you want to buy this thing, realestatepostbrian at hotmail.com. I want to hear from you. This is going to change your business. And by the way, we are doing, for everybody who's participating with Listing Booster, Frank and I are doing coaching webinars every single Tuesday. And as we're going forward, we're going to be talking about, we give support all the time, but we're going to have live support for this on a daily basis. Jump in right now. And here's my final point on this, guys, is that it's really a case of the early bird gets the worm on this one. Think about this. Would you rather go ahead, because a realtor can only work with one loan officer, would you rather have your realtor sign up with your competition, or would you rather sign up your realtors, your competition's realtors? Where do you want to be on that fence? Because people are getting this right now. You can either be proactive and offensive on this, or you could be reactive and defensive on it. So sign up for it. Give me a call. Let me know. And I appreciate your time, and we will be getting back to you very shortly. Thank you so much. Bye.